Viewer discretion. This video dives into a true crime mystery. Let's dive in responsibly. Welcome to Unsolved Mystery Bites. Let's dive into the Zodiac, the mysterious figure that gripped San Francisco in the 60s. He claimed 37 victims, but only 5 were ever confirmed. His ciphers and letters, they still leave experts scratching their heads. Ready to dive into this mystery together? Let's uncover what's really going on. In the late 1960s, San Francisco was hit with a serious wave of fear, right? People were really on edge, feeling anxious about what was happening around them. The summer of love faded, giving way to a new mystery. In December 1968, tragedy hit when the Zodiac killer struck in Benicia. 2 teens, Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, lost their lives in a shocking crime. In July 1969, in Vallejo, Darlene Ferrin became a target. Michael Mageau lived to tell the tale, sharing a truly chilling encounter. The Zodiac picked up the phone and called the police, confessing to what went down at the Vallejo event and tying it back to that earlier mess. September 1969, at Lake Berryessa, Cecilia Shepard and Brian Hartnell came face to face with a spooky figure in a wild costume. In October 1969, right in San Francisco, taxi driver Paul Stein fell victim to the Zodiac killer. Can you believe it? The guy even took a piece of his shirt. The Zodiac was sending letters to newspapers, teasing the cops and asking them to share his mysterious messages. In August 1969, the 408 cipher landed in the papers. A school teacher cracked it, uncovering a chilling message that sent shivers down everyone's spine. The 408 cipher whispered, "I really enjoy these acts, but I'll keep my identity under wraps." It's a sneak peek into what's going on in his head. In November 1969, the 340 cipher had everyone scratching their heads for a whopping 51 years. This puzzle was like a treasure map, hiding the Zodiac's secrets, and people were totally obsessed trying to crack it. Can you believe that? In 2020, cryptologists finally cracked the 340 cipher. Can you believe it? The message: "I'm not afraid of punishment." Such a bold taunt from the Zodiac, right? The 1974 Exorcist letter teased us with even more ciphers, some still unsolved. The mystery just won't quit, right? The Zodiac's letters were like a twisted mind game, crafted to stir up fear and keep both the public and the police on edge. It was all about control, you know? The Zodiac case was one of the biggest manhunts in the history of California. It had everything: a mysterious killer, secret codes, and a media frenzy. So, when police got a tip that a man matching the Zodiac's description had been seen near the crime scene, they took it very seriously. The witness said the man was wearing glasses and was between 30 and 40 years old. That description matched thousands of men in the area. But investigators did find some fingerprints on the boat. Unfortunately, the technology to identify them simply did not exist in the 1960s, so the case remained open. Fast forward to the early 2000s. A writer got his hands on the Zodiac's letter stamps and sent them to a lab. The DNA on them was a match for one another, but it wasn't a match for any of the suspects. This gave investigators new hope that they could finally solve the case. They started by creating a composite sketch of the Zodiac based on witness descriptions and the fingerprint on file. Then they began searching for men who matched the sketch and comparing their fingerprints to the ones found on the boat. One of the men whose fingerprints were compared was Arthur Lee Allen. He owned a Zodiac watch, which he was photographed wearing in 1969. He also lived just a few blocks away from where the Zodiac struck again and again. But perhaps most importantly, he had a history of strange and disturbing behavior. When he was younger, he'd been arrested for trying to kidnap a woman and assaulting her with a deadly weapon. He'd also been arrested for burglary and for being drunk in public. So when police brought him in for questioning, they had a lot of evidence to go on. Not only did he fit the composite sketch, but his fingerprints were a partial match to those found on the boat. They also found a hair from the back of his car that matched the hair found on one of the victims. But despite all this, they could not prove that Alan was the Zodiac killer. One of the women who survived the Zodiac attack identified him as the man who tried to kill her, but when she went to court to testify, she couldn't remember and Alan was set free. He would remain the prime suspect until his death in 1992. To this day, no one knows for sure what happened on that fateful night in 1968. All we have are theories and speculation. Some say the Zodiac was never caught, that he is still out there somewhere. Others say he died along with Arthur Allen, taking his secrets to the grave. What do you think happened? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.